To single out individual favourites from the 66 gardens I've designed for Groundforce is a bit of a tricky call, but here are just a few that for me were extra special. At the end of the first series, Groundforce went to the Isle of Wight to surprise a lad called Gary Axford. Our mission was threefold: to make a beautiful garden, to open it up for wheelchair access — Gary suffers from spina bifida — and to create a motor racing circuit. This last because Gary is a keen radio-controlled model racer.
It's smooth. We'll give him a pit stop there underneath the apple tree. And then it comes.
The initial plan was slightly sketchy, so over the next 2 days we improvised.
So all we need from you, Anne, really, is lots and lots of coffee.
Right.
All right.
When it was done, Gary tried it out.
Now we've measured it,
Yeah.
and it certainly fits those little radio control cars
Yeah.
all around, and it should fit that, but you might clout your tyre on what they're now calling Titchmarsh's hump, which I'm very sorry about.
For me, this was a special garden because for the first time, Gary could actually get into it, rather than just staring at it from his bedroom window. People said to me, "He didn't say much, did he?" Well, he didn't need to. You could see it in his face.
Oh, good view from up here. Railway embankment at the end, is that?
That is.
Oh, wonderful. Well, they'll have a good view of it. Well, look, because what I've planned for is this.
In Torquay, we made a garden for Diane Beadle.
As stepping stones running through raked sand and gravel and pebbles. So the whole thing feels very kind of oriental, calm, tranquil garden.
But for the next 2 days, the garden was far from tranquil. When it was done, an oriental calm prevailed. The recycled railway sleepers picked their way down the garden to the seating area, surrounded by a variety of textures, a mix of sand, gravel, pebbles and cobbles. Bamboo frames add lightness and structure to the garden, essentially bare save for a few climbers to soften and colour them. Why was this one so special? I think it's because it suddenly all knitted together, and although I hadn't a clue what feng shui was really, it did seem to me to be very calming.
This is it.
At Drumoak near Aberdeen, I planned a garden for Rona Meldrum that would reflect the natural surroundings of the Scottish countryside.
Is a stream with
Oh
rocks,
my goodness,
rocks on either
that's
side of
I'm
it.
glad you said that. Oh my goodness.
And then these kind of glade areas will merge up into here. We've got bigger trees just to add a bit of height. We'll leave some of the shrubs. Do you think she'll like it?
Even if it's a mess, she'll love it.
In the usual time, we turned Rona's garden from a bomb site to a burn side. Flowing gently towards the house, the stream appears to duck underground beneath the patio. And like a fairway, the lawn leads back up to the headwaters, and it's perfect for Rona's roaming in the gloaming. I especially liked this Drumoak garden because it seemed to me like a perfect piece of Scottish countryside, a bit like A mini Capability Brown, if you like.
And here's another one.
Oh, look, a rockery. Well, it's interesting, this, because it isn't smaller than I thought it was, which is unfortunate. It's every bit
The design for Carroll of Pitsea in Essex was pretty complex.
The big feature of the garden is this, which is a rill. And it's a rill edged with sleepers, like this. The water cascades down the middle of it.
Right, so there's this drop in here, so it's
Yes,
long
very
down.
slight. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Yeah, so as well as being zigzagged that way, it's also...
Great.
There was certainly a lot to do in our 2 days. And when it was done, I thought it really worked. The many disparate elements contrasting and complementing each other. Strong geometry from the rill, textures from the gravel, slate chips and rocks. Not too many plants, but just enough to soften the hard lines. It seemed to work for me because it was a really three-dimensional garden on different levels as well as using different textures.
This is it. It's tiny.
Sylvia Maddox had an uninspired plot in a superb location over the cliffs of Portmelon in Cornwall.
I want to do funny things around the edge, planting cabbage palms, plants that look spectacular at the seaside, which can cope with a bit of wind and the kind of weather you get down here.
After 2 days of sea air and hard work, she had a garden worthy of the spot. On the cliff's edge, a stone wall, the very first built by yours truly, with a cavity for salt-tolerant plants. Behind it, a mixture of paving and gravel surfaces, punctuated by plants, leads to a shady corner and a driftwood seat. The seaside themes restated in various ways, not brashly, but with sculptural forms and subtle details. For me, it's always been a bit of a dream to have a garden that overlooked the sea in Cornwall, so to make this one with a view to die for was a bit of a dream come true.